I wrote them an email today, which I felt that I had to, which basically said that I'm concerned about the finances of the building. And, you know, I'm going to report the building to, you know, the agencies that are appropriate that look into those things, because I need transparency as to what's happening at this building. He saw that I was taking photos of the building and starting to show the deplorable nature of the building, and he made a comment to me, and he's not on the board, but he made a comment to me like, you know, you better stop doing these things because I used to live in another building, and he goes, and you know, if you complain, like your unit could end up having a flood. So I wanted to show you guys where I went to go check out the rental complex. I live down the street the other way. So my dad and me went to go check out this rental complex here called Beach Place, and we're gonna go by it right now. And you know, I'm not knocking renters in any way, you know, that could be my future as well, but we went by it because we wanted to see if this could be an option in the event we needed to sell in order to, you know, stay where we are, because, you know, we're priced out in terms of necessarily finding another property to go into. You might have to move and drastically change your living environment. So we went by this rental complex that's on the right here. We're coming up on it, called Beach Place. It's the lower building here. That's...
I'm gonna stop for a minute.
Yeah, it's this one right here. They can see it. You don't need to stop.
Yeah, we'll stop a second. So you can get
It is a dump. In so many ways, the elevators don't work. It was hot as hell. It was very, very bad, and the woman that was going to show us the apartment was creepy as hell. Let's continue on, and I'll talk to them. I'll show you some footage of it. It's really not an option for renting. If we had a rent, then we'd have to rent from an owner, you know, from a nearby condo as a comparable or something like that. This is not doable. So I wanted to show you guys that. So that's really out. Like, for example, this building is a Villa South, and you could pick up to rent someone's unit in there by owner, because it's a condo, which would probably be a better situation if I had to rent, because it actually would be less of a hassle with an owner who's just looking for a nice tenant, you know, and probably overall cheaper. You know, the old thing of like, oh, if you're in a complex and they have to fix things. No, they don't. The reviews on them is really, really bad, and it's just not doable. So now we're headed over to Publix, and I'm going to continue to talk to you guys. We are just in the car. We're heading over to Publix now, but as you guys know, I've been talking about the situation in Miami and Sunny Isles Beach here with my condo that is located here in Sunny Isles Beach. And basically all hell is breaking loose. The first scheme my building did was they had a notice up that was trying to prevent owners from selling their property, stating that in the event that you got into trouble and you felt like you couldn't afford the bills or you couldn't afford the assessments, that everything had to be paid in full prior to closing on your apartment, or you couldn't close your apartment and then do those, handle those matters at escrow, which is just how things are. It would mean that, let's say the building got an expensive assessment, I can't do this, I gotta sell my unit, I'll take it out of escrow, which is very common. What the building said was, no, you're not gonna do that, you'll lose your apartment, we'll profit on the sale of it. That ended up getting taken care of due to me sending out a rabid amount of emails to the Condo Association, copied to their lawyers, even though I'm not an attorney. And a very kind attorney then helped out and helped to finish off the situation by calling their attorney, and it ended up being a mistake that was taken down. And now, as of now, the notice says that essentially you're able to sell your property and handle those things at closing. But it was a torturous situation where you would essentially be giving away your apartment or panic selling for nothing in order to get any money out of the unit, because we didn't know how to get out the money. We were even talking to realtors, and they were coming up with the idea of maybe the deposit that the owner gives could show that the deposit is going towards those amounts. But now that's thankfully been taken care of. We have a lot of unusual situations happening at this building, and quite frankly, the situation is becoming concerning safety-wise at the building. I had a owner of a condo in my building. I still don't know who this man is, and this was probably a good 2 months ago. He saw that I was taking photos at the building and starting to show the deplorable nature of the building, and he made a comment to me. And he's not on the board as of now, and I don't believe he was ever on the board. But he made a comment to me like, you know, you better stop doing these things, because I used to live in another building, and he goes, and you know, if you complain, like, your unit could end up having a flood. And I actually haven't seen him in a while, which is really weird. Maybe he moved out. And as far as I know, he was not on the board. But we have a current situation where all the board is selling their units, a good chunk of them. We're hearing stories left and right that are all conflicting with one another. So you'll hear from someone that everyone's panic selling, but then you'll find out that that's not true. Then you can only go by what's on the MLS and what's actually for sale. So we have a current situation right now. By the way, to a point of reference, our maintenance used to be $200, then it went up to like $390 a month. So then we were told our maintenance went up to $600 a month. Our maintenance actually should have been, I calculated out, $1,037, and that's why we ended up with a situation where we are paying a $875 a month for 6 months, or $600 and something for the next 8 months to pay off the shortfall in insurance, and insurances every year. Then we have an issue where we lost our contractor with the building, and we don't know if the new contractor is going to be a higher assessment. And then we have another issue where we have to pay our reserves because we don't have any reserves. There's just a ton of things happening in the building, trying to figure it out. I went and got a second job that's going to start soon, and hopefully that helps to pay off some of the things here. Like, we're trying to figure it out day by day, and obviously the most important thing was to get rid of the notice, because the way it was before, you couldn't even sell. That was actually what the notice said, you could not sell. So we're taking this literally day by day. It's absolutely exhausting. It feels like it's a Lifetime movie. It feels like we're watching like Days of Our Lives, Miami Condo Edition, Sunny Isles Beach. So this is just a mess of a situation. I am very, 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 very concerned about the contractor and the situation of the contractor. I'm concerned that there could be an astronomical new assessment that just kind of finishes everyone off. Trying to get clear answers on that. I've been writing them emails on this. No one's answered so far. One of the board members is going around getting weird signatures. We have no idea what it is. Another board member who closed us out of a Zoom session that was meant for owners is making comments that the property will be really desirable for people, and it's on a beautiful peninsula. All these sketchy things. He's selling his units too, by the way. So we are just we're very worried. We're less worried than we were when we thought we couldn't sell. But, you know, I wrote them an email today, which I felt that I had to, which basically said that I'm concerned about the finances of the building. And, you know, I'm going to report the building to, you know, the agencies that are appropriate that look into those things, because I need transparency as to what's happening at this building. But there's just like a lot of weird stuff going on. So, for example, I was in my apartment, and I didn't have the TV on so I could hear in the hall, and this woman who owns a condo in the other hallway, she's not in my hall, went to my neighbor who used to be on the board but is no longer on the board. He's right next to me. And she went to that neighbor, and she went to the neighbor's unit, and her exact words were, "I'm done, I'm out, I didn't F up anything." And that's what she said. So the last time I saw this woman who lives in the other hall, she was actually in the lobby, and she made a comment like, to the security guard, "Can you drop off these papers to who she had mentioned? I need whoever she was telling him to give it to." She's like, "I'm working on a special little project." So I don't know what in the world is going on. This feels like a damn Days of Our Lives episode, Miami Condo Edition. Welcome to Days of Our Lives. Sunnyislesbeach edition, because I don't know what the F is going on at my building. So she went to this neighbor. I would not have expected her to go to him. That was kind of like a plot twist, because she's considered like hated at my building. Like, in other words, the condo association hates her. She would always make comments that, like, you know, she wanted to get them recalled and things like that. So to see that she would then be talking to someone who was formerly on the board, who actually gets along very well with the current board, who was actually in the lobby talking badly about her just a day ago, this is truly a very confusing situation. So now we're just in the elevator at Publix, gonna go up to like the table area and talk from there a little. And I don't know what to say with this, but that was the latest development, that this woman's in my hall, and you know, oh, there's too many people here. There's people up here. It's cooler up here. Isn't that weird? No, it's too loud. It's too loud. Let me just go out here. I've actually never been up here. Cool. Welcome to floor 3 Publix, which I've never seen before. Okay. But this is all very, 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 very strange. We don't exactly know why this woman was talking to the other board member, but we're going to just be mindful of that. This is the 3rd floor of Publix. This is the view. Look at the pretty buildings on the ocean, where no one could explain what they do for a living, but they're very successful entrepreneurs. There you go, and we are in the great Publix, and that is the ocean. And this is where you may sit and eat your chicken. So now we just got to Publix, and we are super duper confused right now. What in the world is happening? So you have this woman that lives in the other hall who goes and meets with my neighbor who used to be on the board. This neighbor was in the lobby maybe 2 days ago talking very badly about the woman in the other hall, saying she's a big problem and blah, 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 and she's really messing things up, but not in a way that, and it made it seem like they didn't get along with her. That's what we were overhearing, like, oh, maybe she's making complaints about the building, something like that. But this interaction that I just overheard with her in the hall talking to the neighbor seemed like she was involved with something, which is like an entire, like, holy moly, Lifetime channel, Days of Our Lives plot twist, because I don't understand how the F she's now talking to my neighbor, and I don't know what's going on, but this is like some Days of Our Lives stuff right here. So there's this woman that used to be on the board, but a really, really, really long time ago. So this doesn't really involve her with the current situation that's going on. But she told me that, okay, so one of the current board members that's on the board right now is going around with an official document that says Coastal Towers Condo Association on the top of it, going around, and this document has signatures on it. How do I know that? I was in the elevator. I witnessed it. So we're grocery shopping now. My theory of what's going on is that this board member was going around with a paper trying to get signatures from select people, obtain enough signatures, and it was for that purpose of, for example, selling off the building to a developer to be successful. If that's like my theory of what this could have been, because this board member was going around with signatures. It's possible. I don't know that that's what it was, but whatever it was being done in secrecy, because they weren't telling anyone what was going on. I heard through another person that when they were questioned on that, they said it was their medical documentation. Yeah, right. So that is where we are with that right now.
It's not in bikini land.
I sent an email to the condo association notifying them of what I saw. And I also sent that copy to their attorneys. No, I'm not an attorney, but I have every right to contact them. This is life here. This is how it is in Miami. It's not the Lamborghinis and the Instagram posts. It's a constant trying to stay on top of shady things that are happening. So I know that shortly after I sent the email notifying the condo association, their attorneys, again, a repeat of what was going on with this board member, I know shortly after is when all hell broke loose with my neighbor, who was a previous board member, and another woman in the other hall. She was screaming back at him, I didn't F up, I didn't F up over anything, I'm out, I'm done. So I'm assuming it had something to do, I mean, I could speculate that this had something to do with the other board member with the signatures. That's my theory. So I'm just at the little grocery store here called Milam's. This is Milam's. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about the nature of the situation here when it comes to affordability and, you know, rent and housing, because I've been telling you about the problems that I've been having regarding my condo and the expenses of such, and how some people's opinions, and it's also gone through my mind, was to sell to rent, but obviously there's that concern that renting in the long run could be more expensive, and then I have that fear, what if I burn through the cash of the sale? So that may not be the most beneficial way to go, especially in an area like this where things are so expensive. So I wanted to just point out to you some of the different prices in this area so you understand it. This short orange building behind me, that one right there, is a condo, but people obviously rent out their units. The cheapest unit I was seeing in that building was $1,900 a month, and I think there was only like 1 or 2 availability. So this is a shopping center here with Sunnyislesbeach, and then if you turn this way, you will see the orange, that's my dad, but this orange building here is a condo, but obviously units go for rent, and there's the cheapest unit there I've seen is $1,900 in a month, and I don't know with that situation if the person will even give you a lease, because maybe they're trying to sell it too. But then these are all rentals, so that's a rental, those are rentals, and those are rentals. And the price, this is Beach Place.
That's Beach Place.
This is Beach Place. The blue one is Beach Place. What is this one? This is a condo. But for the rentals of Beach Place, and then Plaza of the Americas, that one, and then Intercoastal, whatever it's called, it's like $2,400 a month for rent. And obviously you can see how to start, and then, you know, they tell you that, you know, it's gone up from there.
Just mention that when you go to renew,
yeah,
don't think that you're stuck with $2,200 a month.
And this area is very overpriced. It's very expensive. You know, these are the oceanfront buildings that are here. And, you know, people here can't really explain to you how they make a living or pay their bills. It's just the way it's always been. You know, I had one of the comments on my channel, because we're such a kind of a immoral place, Miami, that, you know, other realtors and other places don't understand. They're like, oh, well, how will you sell your unit if the person maybe can't get a mortgage, or they can't qualify, or different things like that. Unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because that's one of the reasons you can't make friends in this area, people in this area don't get mortgages. They're foreign investors with foreign money who need to buy something. Does that make sense? I don't want to make it even, you know, I hope you understand what I'm saying. They're foreign investors with foreign money that need to buy something. And that's the way it goes here. And that's why people don't need mortgages here, because you're just looking for someone to buy something. And you know, we're not like that, and obviously that's why we're in, you know, the situation we are, where we're struggling and trying to figure out the best route to go. Boy, is it hot out. You know, with these different complexes like Beach Place, Intercoastal, if they're starting at $2,400 a month, they will then raise you the following year. So the fear of renting, you know, sell to then rent, would be a big concern, especially in a place like this. I know a lot of you have said it, this is happening, this problem other places too, but it's specifically obviously an issue here where things are so expensive. I mean, it is so hot out. I think we need to go back inside and probably continue this video once we go cool off inside. Once we're home and maybe want to film a little more. So I'm actually going into Milam's because, So I'm gonna go into Milam's because it is extremely hot. What am I filming? I'm in the Milam's. This is the Milam's grocery store. My head is so hot from the sun. My head is actually baking from the sun.
Wow.
Yeah. We had to take a few minute break. Oh, I got scared with the poster in back. I'm like, who's that man? It's always just a poster. I bought some vanilla Haagen-Dazs and some chocolate one. I'll give Dad the chocolate one. And yeah, we had to get some ice cream because it's so hot outside. So I had to take a momentary break from our real estate main feature of this video. So yes. So I just got done with the ice cream. That really helped because it's a bajillion degrees out and my car doesn't have AC. So yeah, that is Avila South. It is a condo, but they rent for about $2,000. $1,900 was the cheapest I saw. And yeah, it's just a mess here when it comes to rent prices. I know it's been that way in a lot of places, you guys are telling me, but here it's exceptionally expensive. So yeah, I'm just kind of trying to show you and share with you more reality.
That the gray building is a rental complex.
Yeah, I showed them that those are rental complexes right there. So.
Not both of them. The gray one.
The gray one is rental. Is the other one a rental?
The other one is Plaza of the Americas.
That's,
it's a condo.
Oh, Plaza of the Americas is a condo. There you go. Okay, so now we're gonna go home. So we just picked up some groceries and we are headed home now. We bought some cookies. I will show you the cookies. These are the cookies. Oatmeal raisin. And I like oatmeal raisin. Those are my sloth covers, by the way. They have pizza and they eat pizza. So we are going home now. We just have to be like mindful. Or the former board member was screaming at this woman and she was yelling back. I don't know. We have to be very aware of our surroundings right now in the building because I don't really know what's going on. And I think that it's just not the safest situation or the best situation. And yeah, we just need to be mindful. You know, they're aware that we, you know, are in process of reporting them for these suspicious things. So we need to be mindful. You know, it's like a soap opera, but I'm not going to let the condo association do something sketchy and try to take my home. You have to speak up and, you know, try to slow this down because this is the reality of living in Dade County. This is how it is here. It's constant scheming and this is how it is left and right. It's just part of living in Miami. So we just got home now and we just have to be mindful of our surroundings because, like, you know, everyone knows that we're complaining and that we're, you know, in process of reporting the building through a formal process where we ask the state to look into what's going on here. So we just have to kind of be mindful of our surroundings here. It's very tense right now. And, you know, like I said, the former board member was having some weird conversation with this other woman that lives on the floor and she was cursed. She was very upset. And we just have to be kind of like, you know, aware of our surroundings. This is quite a situation here. You know, most people would say, just leave. This sounds like a very toxic situation. Yes, but it's like, where am I going? I can't, you know, buy another property. It's in this type of area where, you know, you're across the street from the ocean. I can't rebuy this. I wouldn't even know where I'm going. So I have to do the best I can to fight to keep my property and not let these people take my property from me.